Oh my gosh. Look at the view from this balcony. That right there is the entrance to Disneyland Park under their Main Street station here. Woo woo, the ticket booth would be underneath our feet down here, and you come in and see the train at Main Street Station. If it weren't covered by this under construction scrim, people enter Disneyland Park through here, and that is Le Chateau de la Belle Bois Dormante, Sleeping Beauty's castle at Disneyland Paris. We are here hours after closing time, peering down into the entrance of Disneyland Paris itself. That is the castle, and over here, that is Space Mountain Mission number 2. The most awesome Space Mountain, I think, in the world. This Space Mountain here has an inversion and a corkscrew. An inversion meaning you go upside down in there. It has a steampunk theme. In front of it is the Orbitron, or as we call it in Anaheim, the Astro Orbiter, originating here in Paris. This behind me, everyone, is Disneyland Paris. We are looking down into it. I'm not gonna lie, it's making me very nervous up here, walking on this slippery balcony over here. And as you know, I'm really not a big fan of heights, but let's take a soak, huh? Let's soak in this. We are standing on the edge of a balcony here at the Disneyland Hotel, which is perched above the gates to Disneyland Park itself. Now this right here is City Hall. We are looking down into Main Street. We would be able to see all of Main Street down here if this station was uncovered, but sadly it is undergoing refurbishment because they have the 25th anniversary of Disneyland Paris coming up in just one short year. But look at that. We are looking down into a closed Disney park. Now if you listen carefully, you'll still hear some of the theme music is on in there. I think there are a few special guests doing some special guest things in there, and this is insane. Just a few short hours ago, snow was falling on us as we paraded up and down Main Street for just 2 or 3 minutes, watching snow fall like crazy. When I arrived here at Disneyland Paris today, it was sunny. It was probably 50 degrees, and it instantly shot down into the 30s, freezing cold, and snow and ice started piling up everywhere. The snow was freezing as it hit the ground, and then as soon as the storm passed and the crazy cold wind passed, it warmed back up. Almost all of the snow is melted. There's just a teeny tiny bit left on these covered walkways, and that's why they're here. And now we're at the Disneyland Hotel, just peering into the park like it's nothing. It's the Sometimes Vlog. It's a vlog that happens sometimes. And where can you get that magnificent view? From the 3rd floor balcony of the presidential suite at the Disneyland Hotel at Disneyland Paris. This, my friends, is the presidential suite. Feast your eyes on the piano, the desk of magnificence or resistance or all the other fronts, things that you know how to say with your limited vocabulary. Here is the living room area over there, the bedroom, the foyer, the place where you do the other thing. There's a kitchen over yonder. Let's go take a look at the kitchen, shall we? A little kitchen in here with a fridge. The fridge, if you leave it open, makes a beeping sound and all this stuff. Now this is not my room, ladies and gentlemen. It is not my room at all. But I was here having a dinner with the people who were in charge of this room earlier, and we were discussing some very VIP special guests who have been staying in this room in the past 20 or so years since the Disneyland Hotel has been here. And one of them, you have to forgive me, I am so tired. I have slept 2 hours in the past 3 calendar days for me, which is 2.5 days. I have no idea. I have not slept very much. I was on a plane, I flew over here for 11 hours and slept 2 of those hours. That was my only nap in between. I've not slept very much. Did I just say that 3 times? I did. So you'll have to forgive me for this, but this is our one and only shot because I was having dinner and we were talking about VIPs who stayed in this room and how there used to be a coffee table here in the center of this living room area, which underneath was signed by some of the illustrious personages who have stayed in this very suite here. And one of those personages was none other than the King of Pop, Michael Jackson. Take a look, if you will, at this photo here. There's Michael Jackson at Disneyland Paris with Minnie and Mickey. If you look in the background, you'll see a certain desk. You'll see a piano. and you will see these doors here leading out to a certain balcony. Some doors there, a desk, a piano, and some doors there leading out to a certain balcony. And if you scroll down one picture, you will see the King of Pop, Mickey Mouse himself, Lisa Marie Presley, the daughter of Elvis Presley, with Minnie Mouse in front of those 4 window-like door thingies right here. Look at the latches are the same, everything's the same. Having a private party in their personal suite right there. Those photographs were taken right there. If you Google Michael Jackson, Disneyland Paris, you will not only see photos of Michael Jackson standing right there having this party. You have the King of Pop here and the King of Rock and Roll's daughter, who were married for a time. You guys remember when Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley were married? Standing right there with that magnificent view of maybe the most beautiful Disney castle. Whoop, 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 whoop. Right there. Standing there with Mickey and Minnie. Can you believe Mickey and Minnie have been in here? Presidents have been in here. Kings have been in here. Literally. Princes and probably sultans and people who ride in motor cars and all kinds of illustrious personages have stood in this area. You will also see, besides those pictures of Michael Jackson, you will also see pictures of good old MJ out on this balcony with Prince Michael and the other kids. Michael Jackson and his kids standing on this balcony, waving hello to people, looking down this very view into Disneyland Paris. So among the other celebrities and illustrious personages, and I'm going to keep calm and keep quiet out here, who have stood here, Michael Jackson has. Now I know we stayed and poked our nose into some suites where Johnny Depp has stayed back in California. And if you haven't seen those vlogs, go backwards and you'll see some sweet, get it, vlogs where that's happened. And by the way, I got to keep these vlogs short and sweet while I'm in Paris because the internet at Disneyland Hotel is awful. The view is incredible, but the internet, it blows. It sucks. It does other negative connotations with, let's watch our language, shall we? Come on, it's just not very good. It's slow, okay? Michael Jackson, whatever you think of him, and I know that there's plenty of negative stuff going around about the guy. I'm not unaware of that. But whatever you think of the man, whatever was true or not true, whatever stuck or didn't stick or was true or wasn't true, he was definitely probably the greatest living performer in my lifetime. The greatest performer of all time, maybe. And he stayed in this room. Definitely probably the most famous person on earth while he was alive, especially when he was at the top of his game. And this would have been like early 90s here. So this is Michael Jackson like at like just the top. I mean, obviously past Thriller, but just at the height of his fame. Couldn't go anywhere in the world without screaming people and adoring fans all over the planet coming to Disneyland Paris because he was a massive, huge Disney fan, a child at heart. He basically replicated Disneyland at his Neverland Ranch in California, but he would come all the way out here to Disneyland Paris to hopefully enjoy less crowded conditions and less notoriety. Looking out at that view, Michael Jackson stood right there with Lisa Marie Presley, Mickey and Minnie. I just thought that was kind of cool. So while I was over here in this dining room with a few people here, look at the size of this dining room. Look at the size. Let's look at the size. Let's just look at that. Look at the formality, Mr. Wayne. Oh, no need to stand on formality, Mr. Wayne. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I believe I'll have a little something, a little cup of tea, shall I? Yes, as I was sitting here at this massive table having a conversation about the illustrious persons who have occupied this suite and talking about how Michael Jackson's been here and different presidents and kings and nobles and fancy, wonderful. That wasn't good. Fancy, wonderful people are here. Now that's not a very solid table. You would think for such a fancy suite that they would come up with a more solid table. All the fancy, wonderful people, okay, I rest my case, who have stayed in this place. That was just one name that really struck me. Like, that's crazy. There's a person who is so famous, who is so, like, unreal, just that it seems crazy to be able to stand where they stood. Now, the last time I was in Paris, I tried to stand where Napoleon stood, Marie Antoinette, even Adolf Hitler stood. Just crazy famous people throughout history have been in France. And obviously, for better or for worse, because there's some pretty bad names in there. But there's you know, for all the illustrious personages, man, I cannot say that. In history, the people in history, bad or good, it's crazy to stand where they sit. And some people might scoff at it. Michael Jackson, a historical person. Now look at this crazy bedroom. Look at this crazy mirror right here where Michael could admire himself. You think? You think Michael could admire himself in there? Like, how do you do, Mr. Phalanges, or whatever your name is? That's pretty crazy. Look at this bathroom in here. His and her sinks. Do you think Michael and Lisa Marie Presley? Some people might scoff at it, but if you think about it, that's definitely maybe the most famous person that existed. I mean, Ronald Reagan, Michael Jackson, maybe now Barack Obama. These are some very famous names. Vladimir Putin, huge names that are known the world over. And the fact that Michael Jackson was such an amazing, such a talented performer, such a huge #1 selling artist, that he could sell enough records, dance enough dances, and just be a, you know, crazy enough character, for good or bad, to make a name that's that massive is pretty crazy. And it does make him, for good or evil, a crazy person in history, like a historical person. I do not know what they are announcing down there. They're testing the speaker system, obviously. They're saying, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you see this? And Michael Jackson slept in this bed. Now, I stayed at the Grand Californian Hotel in another suite from these same people who are using it for meeting in and having whatever. And I stayed in it and slept in a bed that Johnny Depp and Paul McCartney slept in. And I had to, when I found out that Michael Jackson slept in this room, I had to come and check it out for myself. I asked permission and to film a vlog in here once everybody was gone, once everybody using the suite was done with it. I asked kind permission if we could film the Sometimes vlog in here, and was granted the permission. They've all gone home to Paris, to an apartment, to do whatever, or hotels, or wherever the heck I don't know where these people go. They've all gone on to their actual lodgings and left this here for the cleaners to come into. And before the cleaning ladies come in the morning, no matter how tired I am, no matter how crazy it might seem, no matter how jet lagged I am and how much I would dearly just love to call my loved ones and sleep, I cannot let an opportunity go by to kick off my shoes and jump on Michael Jackson's bed. I'm jumping on Michael Jackson's bed. I'm jumping on Michael Jackson's bed. Think of all the good times MJ had in this bed, huh? Think of all the good times old MJ had in here. Think of the things that he did in here. He probably read books and cuddled with Lisa Marie, his wife, and thought about thoughts and feelings. Look at this. Isn't this crazy? What if he wrote Thriller in this bed? I know that Thriller came out a long time ago before this bed existed, so I know that's impossible. But just go with it, right? What if Michael Jackson totally wrote a Thriller sequel in this bed? Like, Thriller, it was a thriller next morning, and ghosts were coming out, and they were really scary. Shamona, hamina, ha, hamina, hee, oh, this is a nice bed. I like it. It's so cool. Okay, I may be slightly delirious from the plane flight. I may be slightly overstimulated. But isn't this amazing? What a cool suite, what a cool thing. Nobody used this bedroom till I came here. I was like, you guys aren't even using this bed? You don't even stay in this suite? No, they don't. They have other business to attend to. Thus the large table, thus the large room, thus the room service things and the wonderful meal, which I was fortunate enough to share and say hello to some people in. And now they've all gone away, and they're not going to have this suite tomorrow, and somebody has to do something with this suite. Somebody has to jump on the bed where Michael laid his head, jump on the bed where Michael laid his couch. That really hurts, but look at this. The king of pop slept beneath a throne of golden wood, or maybe pressed fiberboard. A throne of lies! The king of pop slept under a throne of lies with a crown of dreams. Looking at a pretty cool armoire thing. This is the Sleeping Beauty suite. And so, not only is it adorned with this wonderful, what do they call this? A 4-poster bed? Even though it's 4 posts. I always hear people saying 4-poster. Are they just saying ignorant? Are they just being ignorant? Or is actually what you call a 4-poster bed, or just a 4-post bed. A bed with a canopy. There's a freaking canopy bed in here, like a princess bed. So who better to sleep in this bed than Lisa Marie Presley, huh? She was the princess of rock and roll, and she married the king of pop. It was insane for a while there. That was pretty freaking crazy. Like, that's crazy. The most famous dude ever, singer, performer in the world, marries the daughter of the former best, craziest, most hugest singer, songwriter, performer / guy of the world and all of its nonsense. That's insane. And they had, apparently, according to the photographs, a conjugal style, because they were married and they hung out in here. Visit, I'm not implying anything else, ask your parents. They had a time in here. Oh, gosh, I'm standing in the wrong room to say that. They had wonderful times in here, and then later Michael Jackson will return with his kids. What a cool thing to visit a place where an artist who inspired so many people would come to rest and relax. And even though the people who've used this suite have gone on, I knew we needed a moment to at least just take a peek at it. I wanted to show you guys that view, show you this amazing suite. It's actually, if you notice, it's a lot smaller. It's about the size of that Animal Kingdom Lodge suite we were in, but it's a lot smaller than some of the crazy elaborate suites we've seen at the Grand Californian Hotel. There's no other bedroom. There's this big, crazy formal dining room and conference room, which is why these people have this suite here, and this big living room area here where plenty of people can get together and we can look at the laptop and see the pictures over here. There's a big piano for entertaining. And by the way, these chairs, the coffee table was replaced. It seems the couches were replaced from the photographs of little old MJ in this room, but these chairs were in this room when he was here. Michael Jackson put his tushy on this cushy. Michael Jackson put his tushy on this cushy. He probably put his feet on a different coffee table, but we don't care. What a weird thing. Now look it. I want you to look around this room. How often are you going to see this room? I have brought you here to take this look. You're Michael Jackson. You're sitting here enjoying Disneyland. I'm not really trying to make fun of the guy, but you're enjoying Disneyland. You're in Paris. It's so nice. I can't really do a great impression, but I'm trying my best. And you're seeing the things that he saw. That's crazy. This is how people on that level even rest and relax. Now, I have hung out with, as you can see, with some very wealthy people in my time. I've met some famous people, some moderately famous people, some medium famous people, and some super famous people. I've met people from important families. I've met all kinds of people in all kinds of walks of life. I've also met all kinds of low, crazy characters. Homeless people. I was actually going shopping at Target with this crazy homeless guy the other night. We were buying him pants. And it was a whole hoot and a holler and a half. I don't have time to tell that story, but it was pretty funny. And funny in a good way. Like, we made friends. It was awesome. Shout out to Keith. But I've hung out with some illustrious personages. Hey, I'm getting it! And I gotta tell you, everybody in the world thinks, man, if I just had money, my life would be better. And don't get me wrong, if you had money, your life probably would be better. If I had some money, my life would be better, so I'm right there with you. But on another level, everybody thinks if I just had that stress removed, all my problems would be solved. I'm here to tell you, no. I now know enough people and have seen enough of this world to know that people who are wealthy, people who have one of the checklist problems removed, usually have others. And not only that, believe me, I still would like to trade too. They worry about the same, oh my gosh, my life would be so different. Can you imagine? They must exist on a whole other level. Think about it. Michael Jackson was in the same room as me, the gutter snipe, the peasant, the trash. Michael Jackson was in the same room thinking about the same things. He wants the same things that I want. He wants somebody to love him. He wants some food to eat. He's thinking about what Disney ride he would like to go on. What's his next creative project going to be? What's the right move? What's the wrong move? He's thinking about his kids when he came back later, all those years later. You know, I love my kids. I want my kids to have a good life. Even people who are rich and famous and have everything every little, 15-year-old kid dreams of having, they're still all worried about the same things. Food, drink, someone to hug at the end of the day, and doing the right thing. Hopefully, if they're a good person, they're worried about doing the right thing. And I'll leave you guys to moralize. Please leave the whole, Michael's evil, Michael's not evil. Just leave that whole argument out of it and just go with the main point. My point is just to say that those people are worried about the same things we're worried about. They're flesh and blood. And you know what? That's inspiring. Now, it might seem like I'm tearing down your idols. I'm not tearing down your idols. I'm not saying, no, you shouldn't look up to anybody. What I'm saying is that they're just people like you and me, and that's inspiring because that means it's never too late. It's never too late to try. It's never too late to look at yourself and say, there might be some raw material for some positive results here someday. If these people that occupy places like this, and believe me, I don't belong here. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm lucky to get to come here to show this to you. That's why I'm in here, because we got to share this together. That's the only reason I'm allowed in places like this. But people who belong in these kinds of rooms, people in the life of luxury and doing all these things, famous, rich, wonderful, splendid people, those charming people, it turns out, me now having come here and sniffed their pots, yep, they're human. They're human just like us, which means that it's every bit as possible for you to work hard and have a great life of your own. Now, maybe you and I won't be sleeping in 4 poster beds every night, and maybe you and I won't have looking glasses here that Jabberwockies could come out of, or wardrobes big enough to fit lions and witches and whatnot, but you and I can still have good lives. You and I can still be happy. You and I can still achieve goals. We can set realistic goals for ourselves. We can achieve them. You and I can still have a positive mental attitude and a positive outlook on our life. Accept the positive, reject the negative. Try to learn from our mistakes. Accept criticism when it's constructive and go, okay, maybe I should work on myself. Have high moral standards for ourselves. Forgive other people. We can still be great, wonderful people and have great, wonderful lives, because if we look up to people like Michael Jackson, or let's take somebody else for an example, anybody in the world, Bono, I don't know, Mother Teresa, Gandhi, whoever it is that you look up to, you got to realize there's an element of good luck there being discovered. There's an element of talent there. Oh, some people have talents that we won't have. But we don't all have to be singers or painters or songwriters or dancers or American Idols. We can all be decent human beings. Try our hardest and be cool. It's never too late to be cool. None of us are actually trash. I'm going on a whole tangent. I'm very sleepless. I'm very tired. I'm back at Disneyland Paris. Of course, we'll look at Disneyland Paris things, but I had a chance to do this before we even had a chance to set back foot with the foot in the mouth and the park and doing stuff. By the way, look at this. The Divine Comedy. That's not really a Disney book. Oh my gosh, it's a secret box. What do you think MJ kept in the secret box? I don't want to know what he kept in the secret box. Look at this, though. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Look at this scribble. Who did this? Did some miscreant come in here and vandalize the Sleeping Beauty suite in which Michael Jackson did lay his head of pop royalty? Or wait. It couldn't be. You don't think the King of Pop left this here for us? You don't think he knew we were coming? I mean, we are in France. And last time we were here on the Sometimes vlog, we did see the Mona Lisa, which was painted by Leonardo da Vinci, who loved to leave secret codes to lead Gandalf astray, and that girl from Amelie, who was also French. Coincidence? I'm not sure, but what I am saying, what I do think that I might be starting to know, this is some sort of secret message from Michael Jackson from beyond the grave. He wants us to change the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. Oh my gosh. We are the world. We are children. We can do stuff because we're bad. We're bad. We know it, but it's cool. We can be good. We can do it. The code. We finally have the code. All we need to do is figure out where this squiggle intersects that squiggle, and we've got it. The MJ code. The MJ code. Finally, the secret of Disneyland Paris is unlocked, and the MJ code and the power of it will be ours. Look at this dome. Look at the size of this dome. This thing is, look at this mantelpiece. What a thing. Look at this clock. It's so heavy. I honestly couldn't lift that with one hand. It's a really heavy, small clock. I don't understand the MJ code, but it's got something to do with my future and something to do with this. Go home and sleep well. I have to admit, first the code led me around in circles, round and round in circles, past the King of Pop's very hygienic throne. But finally, it led me to the weirdest drinking fountain I've ever seen. Might this strange drinking fountain just be the fountain of youth? Let's find out together. Oh, great King Michael, I have followed your code. Show me your ways of mystery! Mystery! I may be overthinking this. I may just need sleep. Sleep. Go home and sleep.